Hi, welcome back to Mama Jasmine's Food Journey. Now, if this is your first time to the channel, I want to say welcome. If this is not your first time to the channel, I want to say welcome back and thank you for your support. Now, today's video is an amazing rum cake that I found online and I've been using it for years. So, of course, the recipe is going to be in the description link down below. You can also customize it to how you like it. I usually do traditional with walnut and vanilla, but you can do coconut, you can do chocolate, you can do pistachio, you could do whatever you want. But I know that the traditional is our personal favorite. We're going to go ahead and get started on the video, but I want to also wish you a happy holidays. Alright, so it's pretty simple for this recipe. It's yellow cake mix with a packet of vanilla pudding. So after you do that, you're going to go ahead and put in your extract of choice. I choose vanilla extract, but you can also do coconut or coconut rum as well. You do your oil, and then you do the dark rum of your choice. I am a Captain Morgan's girl, but you can do some Myers dark rum if you want as well. And then your water. Now, this ingredient is a little heavier on the egg since it's going to be longer cooking. So about 4 eggs, and then you're going to blend it nicely. I bought this bowl from the Dollar Tree just because I needed it, a huge bowl just temporarily. And this pretty much did the trick for me. For this recipe, also, I've done this for multiple occasions. I did this for a wedding, which I'm going to link right here in the description box. And also, I've done it for my own anniversary. I did miniature versions of it. After you're done blending it all together, you're going to go ahead and scrape the bottom, make sure that all the mixes and all the ingredients are really well incorporated. And then you're going to take some walnuts. Now, I did about half of this little package here. And I put half of the walnuts into the batter itself. And then the other walnuts I'm going to put into a really well greased pan. Now, for this one, I had to redo the cake. Well, we're going to say another cake. And I felt like I didn't spray enough. But I felt like the method that works the best for me was a little bit of vegetable shortening. It just makes the cake slide right out, which you're going to see, of course, at the end of this video. So now that I've done the walnuts down in the bottom, which is going to be the top for decoration, I just think that it makes it look really gorgeous and you kind of know you're getting yourself into. Again, with this recipe, you don't have to do the walnuts. You can do coconut, or you could just omit both if there's anybody with allergens in your family or you have an allergen. You can just do vanilla, but it's gonna be delicious. Ow! Now, I was a freaking champ and did this by myself. My husband's, of course, holding the camera, so I can't have him help me. But if you need help, please, please, please ask someone to help you. But luckily for me, because I'm just that much of a beast, I was able to do it on my own and just use the other hand to spin as it naturally just dripped down. And then once it did that, I used my other hand to scrape the spatula down the bowl to get all that yummy goodness into the bundt pan. Now for baking this, I'm going to tell you this in advance because it's probably going to go a little faster. It's going to be 325 degrees to bake it, and it's going to bake for 45 minutes. So I am the type that gets distracted, and anyone that knows me knows I get a little distracted. I can't help it. I'm just a happy person who loves life. And sometimes I get distracted by things in life. So what I do is when I notice it's getting closer to the time, I'll turn the heat of the oven off and let it finish out the last 5 minutes maybe, or do it a little lower and so I don't burn the cake. Or, this is another thing that I do, I set multiple timers. So I'll set the kitchen timer on the microwave and then I'll set my phone timer. Now for this amazing sauce, you're going to go ahead and do a stick and a half of butter and then a cup and a half of sugar. So basically 1-to-1 ratios to sugar to butter. And you're gonna let the butter, of course, be melted, and then you're gonna put the sugar in, and then you're gonna also do 1/4 cup of water. Here it is. So you see how it's just bubbling like that already? So you're gonna let it come to a complete boil and let it boil while continuously stirring it for about 4 minutes. And that's to get the sugars nice and caramelized, everything nice, well incorporated, and just to make it thicker. And trust me, once you see the glaze, it's completely worth every minute and second that you have to wait over this. The other thing I wanted to tell you about this is that you're supposed to start this about 10 to 15 minutes before the cake is done cooling. So what you could do is set your kitchen timer for about 30 minutes and then come back out and then start the sauce. So, yep, that's my first stir. And really went in. So the cake, as you notice, is right next to the pan. In the top right corner, you see that little, yep, that's the cake. I got it out and I was letting it cool. And I went ahead and already poked some holes into it as well. So as soon as I'm done with this and put it into the measuring cup, I could pour the glaze right on top of the cake. So this recipe for the glaze should yield about 2 cups of sauce. So yes, you see that? Just, it's nice. It's a blonde caramelization. And then you're going to pour in that rum. So the reason why I had it so close to camera is I wanted to not only show the quality of the sauce, but get it off the heat, because when it's just on the heat, it flames up and bubbles over. So you want it off the heat when you introduce that rum. And you're gonna cook it for a minute longer just to break off that alcohol taste, but keep the flavor of the rum. All right, I gave it one final whisk, and then we're gonna go ahead and pour it right into the glass jar. So you want something that's definitely safe for high heat, and keep your hands away from this when you're pouring it, because you don't want that caramelization to get on your hand, because then you're gonna have not such a good night. All right, so I want to show that it yields just about 2 cups of liquid. So now that I've had the cake with the holes poked into it, I poked about 50 holes. I want to say give or take. So you're going to go ahead and pour half of the glaze on the cake while it's in the pan. And get as many of those holes touched with the sauce, so then it's soaking right into it and it's an even distribution. Apologize for that. So when you cut into the cake, it's gonna be you're gonna get every bit of that rum, and you see a cup's left. So you leave that sit for about an hour, and then you come and then you invert the cake onto whatever serving dish you're gonna serve it on, or in my case, transport, and wiggle it a little bit, but it should come out nicely on its own, just like that. Now you see it's already glazed, but honey, we're gonna glaze it some more. So you're gonna take that same skewer that you used earlier. I have just a wooden chopstick, and stab as many holes into this as possible. So I'm kind of alternating around the design candy walnuts right there. Well, not candy. I mean, they're going to be candy. Ow. But you're going to go ahead and put that delicious sauce. Look at that. Oh, and it's been an hour, so it's been sitting there getting thick like a bowl of oatmeal. Just evenly distributed. But also, I mean, I'm making it a little sexy for the camera. You see that? Just, oh, look at that. And granted, the rum cake, it gets at its peak at 3 days sitting there. So if you bake a rum cake, try not to dig into it right now. So this is not the time to dig into this cake. You gotta let it sit for at least minimum another hour. Once you're done with that, then you can slice into it. But of course, I made this cake the night before. And so it's gonna have time to just really get into every nook and cranny. Now, while we go into slow motion, I want to show you something. Now, you see all that syrup that's on the bottom? Oh, honey, that's not going to go to waste. What you could do is take a baster or even a spoon, and you can suck up the syrup and then redistribute it the next morning. Or, you know, in an hour if you're that impatient. I'm kind of judging you, but I'm not judging you as much. But you go ahead and take that syrup and you just reapply it to the top and you just keep glazing it. Or we can do, of course, with other major companies, is you can put it in saran wrap upside down and then go from there. But you enjoy this cake. It's so good. It's one of the ones that is just definitely on my top hits along with the 7-Up pound cake. Now that we've got that done, I want to show you what I've done with it. All right. Let me get in on this delicious action. So, of course, I've done the pan around and made it into slow motion, but this bad beastie has been soaking for already 30 minutes. And we're going to slice it on up and get it ready to take to our in-laws as well as our best friend's house. So, I want to say welcome, have a great day, and of course, comment down below for somebody and something you're really thankful for. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for stopping by and watching this video. If you haven't seen the previous video, go ahead and click on the box next to me. If you haven't already subscribed and this is your first time to the channel, the little logo down there, you go ahead and click on that and you're a part of the team. Now, see you in the next video. Bye.